No one thought anyone was bad. No one thought anyone was bad.
Did you say it was only certain times?
You don't get 5th and 6th on land being bad.
So?
Like, I guess one of my biggest flaws is how I handle things and how I think about things is not how other people handle things and think about things. And I can't put myself in someone else's head. Here's what happened. All right, here's what happened. I'll give you the rundown.
Cam, it's 3 months.
We had a good event. We had 2 good events as a team. During the last event, Phony got mad at Frex a lot. He got mad at Frex a lot. Phony and Frex are really close. Don't get me like they're really close, like friends. I could tell Phony was upset. So a week goes by, and I'm thinking like, okay, like I told him it was his team. Like I wanted him to be as comfortable as it was as possible.
Poppy, so 26.
As like to have like the best team that he could possibly have.
Your Terminator is 42.
So I brought up the possibility of possibly picking up Koiful. I said Koiful was the only person that I think would be worth to try and make a team change for. I called Phony privately, told him that I want him to be comfortable. If he's not comfortable taking team fights, then I think this is something we could talk about. But I also said it's your call. I want you to be comfortable with this team. If you want us to take it out with our current roster, I'm 100% okay with it. Made it as very clear as day that like I'm okay continuing with our roster.
Sweet, no, it's 43 months.
If you want to talk about having someone else on this team, I think it's okay to have the conversation. I wanted to move to more of a support role because that's my best role competitively. It's been my best role as a Bloodhound, as a Valkyrie, as a Watson. Those are my most successful characters. So I was like, if we picked up someone like Koi, I would absolutely transition into that role. I have success in that role. Koi's the only option. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like if someone brought that up about me, completely fine. And then I think like 1 or 2 days went by or something like that. And I was like, listen, I don't think it's worth it. We shouldn't do that. I think we should just stick it out with our roster, blah, 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 blah. Well, I told Phony this. He fucking goes and tells Frex instantly that I want to drop him. Doesn't tell me that he told Frex. And then we get into a team call. When I get back from the trip, I get blindsided. I didn't realize that that was the case. I try to talk it out and say, hey, this is not the situation. I had no idea that he had already told Frex this. And they said that they don't trust me anymore, blah, blah, blah. They're going to continue. Like, they don't feel like we can work this out and all this other stuff. And I was just like, all right, like,
Gosh, thanks for 12 months.
what the fuck? Whatever. Like, it is what it is at this point. So, they thought I was blindsiding them. I didn't think that was the case at all. I was like, Phony for 3 days did not tell me that he already told Frex that I wanted to drop him. So I'm thinking everything's fine. I'm going to come back, get into a call and be like, Lies, let's turn up. Let's really focus on improving our individual skill and work on our team fighting, blah, blah, blah. I get into the call and it's like, oh, by the way, I told him without telling you for 3 days while still talking to you saying, hey, we should get into a call. The whole time they're fucking scheming behind my back on what they want to do. They don't want to talk to me, whatever. Like, This is where I think the age gap comes into gigantic play in my eyes, because I'm thinking like Koiful is the top free agent in the world. If they wanted to replace me with Koiful, I would have been like, I think that's a fair conversation to have. But I definitely think that it was just a gigantic age gap problem. I tried to work it out with them. They didn't want to work it out. I tried getting Frex into a phone call about 14 different times is what it felt like. He refused to talk to me.
Either is 42 months. Andrew is 24.
I got completely ghosted by them, pretty much, and that's just the end of the story. And then it just couldn't be worked out. And then it was the decision on what's going to happen with the team. So, in my eyes, like I think about things like logically, not emotionally, whereas other people might be very emotional. So,
at the end of the day, I don't know how Frex is as a player. All I know is about Snipe, so like I'm pretty biased. Maybe Phony thinks that Frex is better than Snipe, but from my perspective, I feel like Phony is more of a guy to care about his friends than more so make a business decision. He wanted to cover for his friend because he was a lot closer to Frex. He was tight with Frex. Snipe was more so like a business partner. Or, like I said, he just thought Frex is better than Snipe. And he was already thinking about replacing Snipe instead of Frex. Who knows? It was either of those two, but it's probably both. Both are probably true. But obviously, like I said, I'm biased. I personally think Snipe is a better like individual and like player than Frex. But that's obviously for a lot of reasons, just because I've played with him, I've watched him play. Frex doesn't really stream as much. Like Frex is like a very quiet player. I hope the decision wasn't made because Phony felt bad for Frex instead of feeling that Frex is actually a better player. I hope that was the reason. It should be business before friends, yes. It's not debatable. When you're playing, listen, when you are in the position like playing video games for a living and you are picking your friends over possibly having a better team or making it, like, you're just brain dead. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like... You're playing video games for a living and you're willing to sacrifice that so you could be nice to your friend. So, for, like, what, you want to go, like, you want to fail and then go back to your 9 to 5 or go back to school and stuff like that because you decided to pick your fucking friend over the player that was actually better? There's a time and place to pick your friends, right? But when it comes to trying to solidify your future for playing or doing something that's not, like, always going to be around, I don't know. And if also, like, if that person was your friend, they would understand. If you're not doing your part, then you shouldn't be complaining. So it's as simple as that. There's no point to replace you if you were doing your part or doing more than your part.
Remember, I'm green.
Yep.
I'm blue Power Ranger. How is he alive?
Shields recharging. Recharging my shields.
Subject spotted.
Got one, 22 months.
Recharging my shields. Planning an arc star. Shield recharging.
No. What? Oh, I thought he fucking died. Olive, it's 3 months. Keeney, 17. Dollars, 34.
Current angle sucks. Switching it up. Recharging my shields.
No. That guy has the bro. Conduits actually have no audio. Like, that guy doesn't have I didn't hear a single footstep. I actually think Conduit is literally the worst character for footstep audio. The wear is 37 months.
Getting a first.
Gallons for 25 months.
Shields recharging.
Bro. My teammates actually don't exist. Holy I have a guy with that's just literally AFK. He's not even playing the fucking game. Firearms for 19 months.
Shields recharging.
AJ's 9 months. Catalyst is a 15, Lane is a 9, NASA is a 25, Max is 31.
Recharging shield. Need a new angle on this.
Pick me up. Recharging my shields.
Oh my god, you're so bad. Ninja's 31 months. I could just dropped a 6K in Team Deathmatch and 32 kills. Alejandro's 27 months, a Moopsie's a 10. Creamy's 24.